Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Please say hello to everybody, Mr. Curtis. Oh.
What?
Did you just wake up? Are you stretching? Tootsie. Oh, if I recall correctly, he did learn some martial arts. Before
last lesson, as you may remember, I had the cha-chow, the chopping going.
Okay, the chopping, yeah, sure.
Yes,
I think you did some throwing too. There might have been some throwing going on.
Yeah. But,
I think I got seismic tossed. If I remember correctly.
Good times.
But now, I've done some more training over the week, and now it's more of a appearance-based muscle here. I've got some
triceps.
Let me just
pose
over here.
Doing that horseshoe.
Nice.
Like
got the flexing. Okay.
Yeah.
I see the Sharpie there, kind of in the corner.
Yeah.
Is that like okay? So you're not actually that tone. It's just a Sharpie.
Hey, hold on. Let me lean over and pick up this pencil real quick.
Oh God.
Oh gosh.
I didn't know you could have fat rolls there.
Is that supposed to touch the ground? Oh God.
Yeah. No, I see it. I see where you have tried to use a Sharpie to kind of imitate what muscles would look like. I like that. It's nice that you're learning, how muscular structure should look, and I appreciate that. Maybe you can, work on your own physique a little bit.
That's a little rude. You can't, as a teacher, you cannot ask the students to work on their physique.
No. I'm seeing that that's what he has an interest in, and I'm trying to push him in the direction that I think, his interests lie.
He's politely telling you, Curtis, that you need to lose weight and that you're fat, okay? He says you're fat.
I'm not saying that, but but you know who is saying that? It is, of course, our trainer in training, Corbin, the young 10-year-old boy who's learning about the world and all of its intricacies.
Hey, what's up, everyone? So listen. I would never call Curtis fat, all right? He's fun-sized.
You did, though.
Well, I didn't say that. I said that you said that, and that's true. You say that.
That's also not true. But you said the words. You said those words. They came out of your mouth.
I didn't say the words.
No,
Curtis,
you definitely did. We can
Curtis,
hey, editor, go back.
Look me in the eye.
Just cut
Curtis,
out the time where Corbin said those words.
Looking at you. Hold on,
Curtis,
let me.
Look me in the
Corbin.
Eye. Look me in the eye.
Listen to my blink. Hold on.
Did you say listen to your blink?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Even my blinks have flex noises.
How does that? Yeah. What's a flex noise?
That's right. So when I go like this.
You can tell.
It's the sound of two balloons rubbing together.
You could tell Curtis is just like making this stuff up on the spot. He has no idea what it means to be a built man. And no, that's not me calling him fat. He's just not built. All right, there's a difference.
Well, to be fair, I don't think any of us know what it's like to be a, how did you put it, built man? Is that what you said?
Well, I'm a built boy, but yeah.
Not really. You're scrawny and twig-like,
well, that's rude.
I would say.
That's offensive. Well, I have the voice.
In a good sense. Like
I have the voice of a built man.
Like,
right?
if we were trapped in, like, a prison somewhere, I'd, like, look to you to try to squeeze through the prison, what are those? Rails? Bars.
Rails? They're not rails. They're bars.
I couldn't think of what the specific kind of circular.
That's okay, Professor.
Metal.
Well, we all know you're a good man and you've never been to jail.
Well, I know if we were wrongly imprisoned, right? Then.
Well, yeah, I can't go to bars anyways because I'm not old enough. But whatever.
I mean, yeah, and they definitely would not even. They would just turn you around and throw you out with that physique you got there, my man.
I know. It should be illegal to look this good.
But it's a good thing that we're talking about physique, and Mr. Curtis is still trying to learn his martial arts, I think, or just bodybuilding in general, maybe is what he's going for. Because if you remember last time we talked about Machop, today we are talking about Machop's evolved form, which is
Ma-punch.
No,
punt.
No, it's not. No, it's
Ma-kick.
That would be
fling.
That would be logical. Think more visceral. Think more final.
Ma-stab. More death!
Okay, slightly
More eviscerate.
slightly less final than that, maybe.
More estrangulate.
Macut.
Ooh, strangulate is very close. Yeah, it's Machoke is who we're talking about.
Damn it.
I appreciate the effort, guys. You were on the right track, but I guess
were
in
so
the interest
close.
of time, I figured I'd help you out.
Oh, we're so close.
So, we are learning about Machoke, the evolved form of Machop. Now, like Machokes are fairly common, and we do have several working here, so I know you've seen a Machoke before, but I think it's good for us to get, like, a closer look at one. So I've actually asked one of the Machokes that work at the school to come in and kind of, like, you know, just, I guess display himself for us. I don't know.
I don't like the way that sounds.
That is a
but
weird
sure.
way to say it. Anyways, okay, yes, please come on in. Come on in.
Oh, hey, what's up, big boy? Ooh,
So,
big tough boy.
So this is one of the Machokes that work at the school. His name is William Shire.
I'm sorry.
William
That's right.
Shire.
Hold on. Let me give William Shire the traditional greeting.
He's not.
Curtis,
he's looking
just
at
looking
you.
at you.
Very
He's just looking at you.
confused.
Yeah, he's not. He's not
Hold
moving
on,
at
hold
all.
on.
He's just
One
looking
more.
at you.
One more right here.
I think now he's starting to get worried. I think.
That
William Shire. It's okay. He's not. He's fine. He's just trying to flex. But
No,
of course,
he's not okay. But
has-
you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, he's got about as much muscle as a Mega Alakazam, if you know what I mean.
Oh, not at all.
But yes, William Shire is one of the three Machoke that work at the school. So it's him. It's of course Radcliffe and Elizabeth are the other two.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I never knew their names before.
Yeah,
That's good to know. Good to know.
Now you do. Yeah. So, some people say, "Oh, is it right to have these Machokes working for your school with basically little to no pay and?" Only occasionally do we give them any kind of food. And to that I say, yes, they love it. In fact, it is one of Machoke's most common pastime is just doing physical labor. So honestly,
Wow.
this is kind of like a playground for them. So when they are,
Nice.
fixing a floor or putting a door back on its hinges or maybe
Or
fixing a
taking shit
wall
in the
that
corner.
a Pokemon flew through or jumped out of. It's what they
so
love.
they like it. So the more mayhem in this classroom, the more at home that they feel.
The more work that we have for them to do, whether it's building, whether it's repairing, whether it's hoisting and lifting, pulling, pushing,
Stabbing, choking.
anything that gets them to use those glorious muscles is just
It
super.
is, and they are quite glorious.
Yes,
I don't
this is
understand why is it cut? Like why is there red? Like what are those? What is the red stuff on its arms?
It's hard to say. It might be. I think it's just the coloration of their arms. I don't think it really has anything. It's not like they're muscles coming out of their bodies.
They look almost like veins or something up close. But yeah, they're weird. I'm not gonna touch them. I'm gonna leave them alone. But.
Yeah, definitely do that. Although
See,
Machokes do like it when you touch their muscles. In fact, do you see he's flexing? He's flexing for you right now.
Ooh,
So,
very
right
big
here,
boy.
Go ahead.
Good
Felix.
work,
see,
big
and
boy.
then
You
now
look
it's
very great.
customary to flex back. Here we go.
Curtis, there's nothing there. I literally see everything you have sagging.
He's just looking at you with a face of sadness and
See, if you roll up my sleeves here, I have the red marks on my arm too.
Curtis, those are stretch marks.
those are stretch marks.
Yeah, they do go perpendicular instead of parallel with the length of my arm. So
That's a problem.
All right, enough about Mr. Curtis. Let's continue focusing on William Shire here. What else do you notice about Machoke that's different from Machop?
Unlike me, most Saturdays, Machoke's got pants on.
Yeah, Machoke is wearing pants, definitely. It's, I think the first Pokemon that we've seen that is definitely wearing clothes.
I think Charizard had a scarf or something, right?
There is question as to whether or not Poliwhirl and Poliwrath's gloves were, gloves are part of its flesh, and I think we landed on the flesh side of that.
Yeah, I think it was fleshy.
It's either their flesh or the flesh of other
It's 100%
Right.
Poliwhirl flesh.
Right.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Now, what's the deal with the Machoke pants?
I don't know. I think they are actually like a fabric, and if What's holding up those pants? I think is the most important.
Well, that obviously looks to be a giant watch.
Yeah, a watch that goes around your waist that also has no, clock face or time.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. That's a belt. I'm so
It's a
sorry.
belt, yes.
See, again, I wear athletic shorts most of the time, and when I am home, I usually don't have pants on. So you got to understand, I don't dress up very often. I don't go to nice things. I don't wear belts.
Wow,
So.
consider me surprised.
I know.
It is like a watch for your pants though.
Yeah, watch
No,
out.
it's
Your
not.
pants will
No, it's
fall.
not. It's not in any way like a watch for your pants. It isn't. What do watches do?
They tell time.
Watches hold your wrists on.
The pants watches tell you what time to take them on and off.
No,
Maybe your watch does, but my watch keeps my wrist on, so I don't know what you're talking
keeps
about.
your wrist from sliding down.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's look more at this belt now. Machoke has it appears to have a P on the belt. Now, my first instinct.
It wet itself. Oh,
No,
buddy,
it's the letter P.
listen, it's okay. I've been there. I literally just got over that problem a month ago. We'll talk after class.
No,
okay?
No, Corbin, you silly head. It obviously stands for percussive. Okay.
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry.
of the raw percussive power that radiates.
Yeah.
from
The
Machoke.
raw percussive what there, Mr. Curtis?
The raw percussive power that radiates.
You see,
from
I think you were
Machoke.
close. I think it's power is what the P stands for.
Percussive power. So it's
Power.
PP.
Now, my
It's
my
a
first
PP
instinct-
belt, Corbin. You are right.
Oh yeah, I was.
Oh my god, there's only one P. It could stand for Pokemon. Maybe.
I thought it could.
I'm pretty sure it's power.
Oh, also, last thing I want to mention. It has like these weird crest horns on its head.
Yes. Well, I mean, Machoke did too. I mean, sorry, Machop did as well. if you
Okay,
remember,
but but they're still there. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's got to be good evolutionarily. Mix that word up.
Maybe it's just like
Evolutionarily, it's got to be good because I didn't get rid of it. So
Yeah, again, and I said this before, I think it's like a heat sink. I think it helps facilitate, having excess heat leave through its head.
But one last thing I wanted to notice
Oh, okay.
is
I thought that other thing was the one last thing.
No, I lied. I thought of something else. Excuse me, Machoke, 1 second. There is
William
no
Shire.
tail.
Maybe his name is William Shire.
Oh, William Shire. I'm sorry. Excuse me 1 sec. There's no tail under here. None.
Okay, so you didn't actually look. I saw you go behind him, but I know you didn't actually pull his pants. You didn't actually look. We have absolutely no way of knowing, because I know you did not take off its belt. You absolute psychopath.
That's right.
That's a little rude.
And so there could be a tiny little,
little stubby
tail
step.
back there. We don't know. Nobody's ever seen a Machoke without its belt on. Corbin.
You mean to tell me after all these years nobody's seen a Machoke's butt? Huh?
I mean, maybe somebody has, but they probably didn't live to tell the tale.
After all that hard working Machoke does, they never stop and wash their pants and put a fresh pair on.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying nobody's seen it.
Nasty.
Listen,
They're
Pokemon
very
have
private.
eggs. Nobody's seen them lay eggs, but they have eggs. So Machoke probably washes his butt crack, but nobody's seen him wash his butt crack.
Man, what a sight to see that would be. You know?
I know. On the bucket list for sure.
Hey, that's a little crude, Professor. I don't know if our other students will like that.
Well, they can tell me to my face. And I think it's time we let William Shire here go back to his job. Thank you so much, William Shire.
Thank you, Mr. Shire. Thank you.
Yeah, well, no, his full name is William Shire. He doesn't have a last name.
Oh, it's not William Space Shire?
William M. Shire. No, it's just William Shire.
Oh, okay. Well, bye, Willie. It was good seeing you.
Yes.
Good meeting you.
And
now I know your name.
thank you.
We're acquainted.
we go.
Thank you so much for all the
See you
hard
later.
work that you do for this school.
He's shaking his head at you, Mr. Curtis.
All right, and then he shut the door when he left. All right.
See?
What?
That is classy. Perry the Psyduck leaves the door open when he leaves. So
I know.
right.
I know. All right, are we ready to talk about Pokedex entries?
I'm ready to dive in. I'm ready to roll out.
Perfect, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Awesome.
Let's
All
go.
right. It's unanimous then. So, starting in the Kanto region. Its muscular body is so powerful, it must wear a power save belt to be able to regulate its motions.
Ooh.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a mood bracelet, right?
No, not in any way, shape, or form. No, it's not. Incorrect.
Okay.
That was that statement
that's
that
right.
you just
It's a
said
mood bracelet for
was
his
about
pants.
as incorrect as it could possibly be, Corbin. So
Cool.
keep
All
working
right.
on that. Keep
Good to know.
Take that advice, kind of like, just like let it ruminate in you and work on it as I read this next entry. Okay, that might have been a little bit harsh. No, it's not like a mood belt. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I honestly can't think of anything that describes it like other than like it just makes it weaker. That's the only thing that I can describe it as.
So if it takes it off, it gets strong?
Yes. In fact, this next
Why wouldn't
entry,
it want that?
This next entry here, let me read it. The belt around its waist holds back its energy. Without it, this Pokemon would be unstoppable.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
As in, it kind of like, so it's like, it's giving other Pokemon a sporting chance, I guess.
Well, that's very nice,
Yeah.
Giving the little guys a chance.
We're going to read some things here that kind of like display what Machoke can do with the Power Save Belt on, which will kind of like show you why it having that Power Save Belt is kind of very important to the human race in general.
Yes.
Okay, the last one in the Kanto region says, although it is incredibly strong, it is always modest. It restrains its strength with a Power Save Belt. So, really, the only thing that's keeping us from unstoppable, godlike, destructive forces that Machoke could be is its modesty.
Well, that's good.
Yep. It's power belt.
I'm glad we have that.
Yeah, it's if there's ever one, if there's ever an incredibly proud Machoke that comes out and just like, no, I need to show everybody what a Machoke can do and goes beltless, I think that's like the end of human life.
That's the end.
Yep, that's it.
Arceus is done for.
Yeah, but Arceus, theoretically, again, unproven, Arceus created Machoke, technically. Right?
Right.
Would
Well, yeah.
Arceus
So did Arceus create a
something-
Pokemon he couldn't own beat?
Exactly my question. So
Maybe.
is maybe Arceus did make it unstoppable without the Power Save Belt, but also added that modesty to a fault where it can't take off
there
the
you go.
Power Save Belt. Arceus works in mysterious ways, is what I'm
Even
saying.
when it sleeps in showers, that thing stays on.
Maybe. All right, let's move on to
Sorry,
Johto
ladies, the belt stays on.
All right, settle down, Curtis.
Okay, now it's weird because it's almost like these Johto entries completely go back on what the Kanto entries say.
Okay.
Because it starts off with, it always goes at its full power, but this very tough and durable Pokemon never gets tired. Wait. I thought it wears a belt specifically so it doesn't go at full power.
Maybe it goes at full power while it's wearing the belt.
I
You know
guess
what I mean?
so.
The full power that it can go.
It's just still weird because it's like 100% definitely not at full power. We know that it's not at full power.
It's at full power when it's wearing the belt. It gives it its all while it's wearing the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what they're trying to say, but it doesn't. It just really seems like it's
If
immediately
you have two
contradictory.
cars, right?
Okay,
you have
go
one that
on.
goes
I
100
love
one-
metaphors.
You have one that has 100 miles that goes 100 miles an hour. The other one goes 180 miles an hour.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Machoke without the belt can go 180 miles an hour all the time. If you put the belt on, it's like the other car. It's reaching its max potential by going 100 miles an hour, but it's
It's
can't go
it's
as
reaching
fast.
its max potential with belt.
Right, it's max potential with a belt, 100 miles an hour in that
Yeah.
case.
Con Belto.
I don't know if that's I don't know what language that is.
Not familiar with that, Curtis.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so I don't
Please
know.
speak
Maybe.
English in the classroom or you're fired.
Please speak Cantonian, if you will.
Please.
I apologize.
All right, the next one here in the Johto region says, the muscles covering its body teem with power. Even when still, it exudes an amazing sense of strength.
Nice.
Its muscles are just throbbing constantly.
Throbbing.
Glistening.
Pulsating. You love it. You love it.
Yeah, like they have a mind of their own.
Same.
Okay. This tough Pokemon always stays in the zone. Its muscles become thicker after every battle. What do you think it means by in the zone? Like AutoZone?
Like it's always focused. No. It's always focused on
like the
getting the job done, whether it be fighting, whether it be lifting things. It's always in the zone. It's always on. It's always flexed. It's always ready to go.
Always on point.
Always on point.
On fleek.
They never fail when they need them to. You know, like sometimes you'll be walking for like 10 miles. You're like, oh my God, my muscles are giving out. I can't walk anymore. Nope, not Machoke. Never gives out. It's always in the zone.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that I have seen that, you know, in the classroom with our Machokes here. Like, when I asked Radcliffe to fix the wall that Charizard destroyed when he flew into the classroom, like, literally, I came back from lunch and it was fixed. Like,
wow.
Dedication.
It's on point.
Speed, precision, incredible.
Or I could be completely wrong.
Uh-huh.
And the Machokes just like to hang out in the Safari Zone.
Oh, that is true. In the zone, Safari Zone. It makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this entry here from the Johto region, when it says this tough Pokemon always stays in the zone, it is definitely referring to the Safari Zone.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, let's move on to the Hoenn region. Machoke's thoroughly toned muscles possess the hardness of steel. This Pokemon has so much strength. Now, this is, again, with its belt on. It has its belt on.
Mm-hmm.
This Pokemon has so much strength, it can easily hold aloft a sumo wrestler on just one finger.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it's steel muscles, too. That's cool that it's fighting in steel type. I didn't know that.
No, it's not. No. It's not steel. It's just they're as hard as steel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, washboard abs, if you will.
Well, we can't see them because the belt's usually in the way.
Of the abs? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Like, you know what? You're right. We can really, and it's just such big pecs that they cover a large portion of its body.
Sure.
But I bet you it got some abs under there.
I bet you it does, or it's just hiding its pudge. You know, that's why the whole time it's actually wearing the belt, it has a beer gut the whole time. It's just hiding it.
Yeah, but you know,
Sucking it in.
just because. I'm sorry, Mr. Curtis. I rudely interrupted you. What were you saying?
I said he's sucking it in like this.
Yeah, and that also helps with its lung capacity and weirdly enough, it does work its core.
Nice.
All right, let me go ahead and read the next entry here from the Hoenn region.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Machoke undertakes bodybuilding every day, even as it helps people with tough, physically demanding labor. On its days off, this Pokemon heads to the fields and mountains to exercise and train.
All right.
So,
All right.
the grind don't stop if you're a Machoke. Even if you on your day off, you're still working out, whether it's in the fields or the mountains.
Always working out, huh? Always.
Ain't no rest for the weary.
Nope. Definitely not for a Machoke. But hey, here's the thing about Machoke.
Don't grow on trees.
They are never weary because their muscles are always strong and they're always in the zone, the Safari Zone. All right, next one here, and I believe the last one. No, it's not the last one. There's another one here from the Hoenn region. Wow, they're really putting in the midnight oil over there.
Pulling out all the stops, huh?
A belt is worn by a Machoke to keep its overwhelming power under control. Because it is so dangerous, no one has ever removed the belt. And to that, I ask, how do you know it's so dangerous if you've never removed the belt?
Well, because maybe people have tried before and they've gotten their,
then somebody has removed the belt, and that entry is wrong.
Well, I'm saying that they've tried before. They've tried, and then the Machoke probably broke their neck or something.
So because of that one thing it did to Daniel that one time, no one has ever removed its belt again.
Well, maybe it's happened several times. You don't know.
Oh, poor Daniel. In half is all I'll say. All I'm gonna say about it. I'm not going any.
I'm sorry.
further
Do you know this Daniel? This person that was killed by a Machoke?
I knew the Daniel.
Okay, then why are you asking me then? If how this is possible? You already have a case where you know this is possible.
I'm just saying. Listen. I read the Pokedex entries, and this Pokedex entry doesn't make any sense.
It does.
Because it is so dangerous, no one has ever removed the belt. How do you know it's dangerous? How do you know it's dangerous if no one has ever removed the belt?
If they try to remove the belt in the process,
it doesn't say that in the entry,
back.
Corbin.
There's a lot of things they don't say in the entry, Jacob, and guess what?
Excuse me. Professor Jacob, what is that on the wall there?
That's the artwork that all the students, the virtual students, submit.
No, well, the other wall.
Oh, that's a window.
But next to the window.
Oh, that's your certificate that says, I'm a teacher.
Yep. Darn tootin' it is, and don't you forget it.
Here's my teaching degree.
Yes. All right, the next one here from the Hoenn region says, its formidable body never gets tired. It helps people by doing work such as moving heavy goods. Yeah. So, I mean,
how good are they? I'm just kidding. It's fine.
Heavily good.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I mean, that one didn't really add a lot of new stuff. I mean, because we kind of already knew that it likes to do physically demanding labor.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and move on to the Sinnoh region. Machoke's boundless power is very dangerous, so it wears a belt that suppresses its energy. Okay. The next one says, it can lift... Yeah, what crazy thing do you think it can lift, guys? With one hand. I'm just going to give you a hint. It's with one hand.
I'm going to guess 20 Indian elephants, whatever those are.
Whatever those
It's
are.
It can lift a car.
Mr. Curtis is very close. It can lift a dump truck with one hand.
Oh.
Woo!
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Using that power, it helps people with heavy jobs.
Sweet. I love that.
The next one says, it happily carries heavy cargo to toughen up. It willingly does hard work for people.
Nice.
Yeah, so I keep wanting to say Machops. I mean, it's not my fault that their names are extremely close. Machokes and humans live together, like, pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you take its belt off. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, don't even try.
Don't even think about it. It's never been done. If you don't, I know you're like,
Don't
what's
think about it.
Does it have a little tail under there? I gotta see if it's got that tail under there. Don't do it. Leave the belt on.
Nope. Can't do that.
Okay. So that does it for the entries in the Sinnoh region. The Unova region just copies the ones from the Sinnoh region. Kalos copies the entries from the Kanto region and the Sinnoh region.
Oh.
And the Hoenn region. Jeez, I mean, they never do their own work. It's so disappointing. But we do have entries for the Alola region.
Ooh.
All right, the first one says, as a result of its continual workouts, it has developed tremendous power. It uses that power to help people with their work. God, it's so philanthropic. It just wants to help other people. I love that about Machop.
It's just swole, and it wants to get more swole by helping other people.
That really is like the nicest thing ever.
It's swole for the soul.
Swole for the soul.
Oh, swole for the soul.
Very nice.
Again, I don't title these lessons, but if I did, that would 100% be the title of this lesson.
That's very pretty. I like that.
Thank you. It willingly assists with hard labor because it knows the work is good training for its muscles.
Sure.
Yep. I already know that.
Wait, did it say it only likes to train because it's good for its muscles? Did it actually say that it enjoys helping out, like people?
I mean, I don't know. We don't need to look into it that deep. It enjoys training its muscles, and it trains its muscles when it helps people out. So I think by the transitive property, it enjoys helping people out. I think that's as deep into it as we need to go.
I mean, I'm just wondering if it's like a moral thing, like, oh, it loves people too, and it wants to help them.
No, I guess it is more of like, oh, those things have a lot of big, heavy jobs for me to do. So
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit of both. Like, if it didn't want to help people, it could find other things in the wild to lift. You know what I mean? So,
true.
Like, there's got to be some...
Like, I mean, Machop likes to lift gravelers around and throw them.
Right, exactly. So as it gets bigger, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna lift some stuff and help some people in the process.
I choose to believe that Machoke is good at heart.
Good.
At heart.
Me too.
Okay. So, now this one's gonna kind of throw us all for a loop, this next entry.
Okay.
So just be prepared.
Well, I was thrown last week, so I'm used to it. Let me hear it.
When it encounters an enemy that is truly mighty, this Pokemon removes the power save belt from its waist and unleashes its full power. Which, by the way, that full power does make it unstoppable. So
now,
it is
let me ask you something. Here.
Yes, go
does
ahead.
its pants fall off when it does that?
100% of the time, yes. It's very
sweet.
embarrassing.
So I think the reason why it never loses is because people are so afraid of seeing a Machoke without pants on, and they just don't know what to do, so they just curl up and just die.
Call up on a ball.
I don't think that's it. I think it does have incredible, like, unstoppable strength. I wish it gives us so many, well, it gives us several, examples of things of Machoke's strength, as in, like, it can lift a sumo wrestler with one finger, and it can lift a dump truck with one hand, but it never tells us what it can do when the power save belt is off. Like, I imagine it would say, like, with the power save belt off, Machoke can lift an entire mountain or something like that.
It can throw Mount Silver into the ocean.
It can push the planet off of its orbit with a high five. Like,
while it's standing on the planet.
Yeah, a single squat from Machoke will shove Earth so far away from the sun that we all die a horrible icy death.
That sounds like a hell of a way to go. I'm in.
I know.
That's right.
The human race was taken out.
We have to get Palkia involved to save us at that point.
Who the hell is Palkia?
I don't know who Palkia is.
I don't know who Palkia is.
Palkia, the god of space.
Nope.
Is he friends with Kyogre?
No. He's actually friends with Diagmon.
You're just making up Pokemon, huh?
He really is. I believe he's referring to Palkia and Dialga.
Yes, the gods of space and time.
Yeah, the myths from the Sinnoh region.
They may not even be real. We don't know.
They probably aren't. I mean, come on. That's crazy. Now, let's go back to talking about this Pokemon that can lift a sumo wrestler above his head.
Please.
So it apparently, according to the people in the Alola region, will take off its power save belt if it's fighting an opponent that's truly mighty. What do you think that is? What Pokemon is worthy of a Machoke without its power save belt?
You know what?
What?
I think maybe like an Alakazam or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Do you think, because, I mean, obviously, like, not on terms of muscles, because compared to a Machoke, an Alakazam is like a paper mache, right? But,
sure,
do you think, without its belt, do you think a Machoke could overpower an Alakazam's telekinetic abilities?
Oh, I think so. I think it is very, very powerful. Hell, I mean, it might even be able to knock or jump and knock flying type Pokemon out of the sky.
Wow. I mean, notoriously, fighting type Pokemon are weak to flying type Pokemon, so...
But not if the belt's off. It has no weaknesses, is therefore unstoppable without the belt.
All right. You heard it here first.
I don't know. I mean, if the Alakazam just picks him up, then, then they got nothing to push off, nothing to grab onto.
But it could... Okay, it picks it up, and then what? What's it going to do?
It smashes it up and down on the ground.
Okay, that does nothing. That does nothing to a Machoke without its belt. It doesn't care. It smashes... Okay, Curtis, it smashes it into the ground once, and in that time, Machoke can push off the ground while it's there and slam into the Alakazam, going through it as if it was made of
maybe you would use Psychic or Confusion or something and, play with its mind, driving it crazy, melting its brain.
I mean, but, how much does a Machoke use its brain, though?
I mean, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, you're right. An Alakazam probably could defeat a Machoke, but all I'm saying is I bet a Machoke can break out of, a Alakazam's psychokinetic powers with its belt off. I bet it could do that.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay. I was thinking more like I don't know, some kind of legendary Pokemon, like a Mew or something. Maybe it could.
If you say so, Professor, then you are right.
I think it would still lose, but
it would still lose, but it would take off the belt. Actually, would it lose though? Would it lose? It's unstoppable. It's unstoppable.
It's unstoppable.
I mean, unstoppable to anything that's not legendary.
No, that's not. That's a qualifier that you're adding yourself. That's not in the Pokédex.
All right, just keep it moving.
Okay, I mean, it's unstoppable, but doesn't necessarily mean it's unfaintable.
That was partially English.
Yeah, unstoppable doesn't mean unlosable.
Unknockoutable.
Unknockoutable, right. Yeah.
I mean, they won't be able to stop the Machoke from running at him and getting that attack on. But if they can hit it with a strong enough attack in the process and knock it out, then then they're okay.
They will have stopped it.
It's unstoppable,
No,
Mr. Curtis.
while it's unconscious,
Look.
it is still walking in circles, and you cannot.
Yeah, so it's still going.
We're gonna
It's
be
just
here
a-
all
it's just a-
day circling each other with this, talk. So let's just keep it moving.
That's what it is to be a Pokemon trainer and researcher, Corbin. So if you don't like it, there's the door.
Oh, I
Nicely
like
shut by Sir William Shire. He has been knighted, by the way. So
I
Sir William
I like
Shire,
it.
Excuse me.
I like that about Pokemon.
good.
However, some things we just don't know.
True. All right. This next entry here says a popular motif for sculptures. Its incredibly well-developed muscles have captured the imagination of many an artist.
Imagine trying to sculpt Mr. Curtis. I don't think you could do that with marble. I think you'd have to do it with like yogurt or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have to be a medium that undulates, because there is a lot of undulations going on.
Sure.
Even while not moving.
Yeah.
So it would have to be movable for sure. So
Now,
I
what
don't
would
think- I
you
don't
use
think
to
marble-
sculpt me?
I have a straw here, and that does most of the work for me.
Sure, that's
There you
fair.
go.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
could like cut it.
And I have some pipe cleaners. Yeah, I have some pipe cleaners. You can put a little slit and slide those through to make his arms.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna put a little dunce cap on its head.
Okay, you can stop
that's
now.
perfect.
You can
Okay,
stop.
You
okay?
asked me.
All right.
All right.
It was rhetorical.
Okay. So the only other region here is the Galar region, and they just copied.
That's it? That's the only region left on the planet? What happened to the other ones?
They found out what happened when Machoke takes his belt off. But no. So sorry. As far as Pokedex entries go,
Okay.
Galar is the only of the regional entries that we haven't talked about yet, and we don't need to talk about them because it's the same thing that we've already talked about before, word for word. So we're not gonna look at that. Instead, we're gonna move to the unique Pokedex entries. They're actually, believe it or not, there is no unique Pokedex entry from Mr. Ash Ketchum.
Woo! Ash, where you been, man? Come on.
I guess he never clocked a Machoke with his Pokedex. His
That
weird,
sucks, dude.
lifelike Pokedex that hasn't mind.
Who did? Who did?
Dawn. Actually,
Dawn.
he was able to do it.
Dawn is a girl.
You don't know that.
I do know that.
You don't know that. You've never met them.
Dawn is a female.
How we just have a first name, all right? Dawn could easily be a man's name.
I've never heard of Dawn as a man's name.
Just because you've never heard of it doesn't mean it can't happen.
Oh my god.
That's right.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right, Dawn's Pokedex entry says, Machoke, the superpower Pokemon. With enough strength to lift a giant truck with one hand, Machoke are often used for extremely heavy work. Now, a giant truck.
Big one. Big truck. 18-wheeler, perhaps.
Probably. I mean, I guess a dump truck you could probably consider to be a giant truck.
I mean, that makes sense. It's a pretty big truck.
I mean, as far as trucks go, on the scale of small to big, it is on the bigger side.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all of Dawn's Pokedex. So
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, and that does it for all of the Pokedex entries. Now, of course, as I am like to do, I have a unsourced, uncredited article here that I would like to read for you.
Ooh. I'm professor.
You are not a professor, sir.
You are not.
I'm excited.
How
I'm
dare
excited,
you?
Professor. I'm sorry. I was so excited that I left excited out of that sentence.
I'm
say-
I'm professor. I'm professor. What is
I'm
it, boy?
excited, Professor. I'm excited, Professor.
Okay. Well, then let me not waste any time. Machoke is a bipedal humanoid Pokemon covered in gray skin. It has a short snout, narrow red eyes, and 4 pointed teeth visible inside its mouth. 2 of these teeth are in its upper jaw, while 2 are in the lower jaw. On the top of its head are 3 brown ridges. Its arms are muscular, I'd say, with dark red vertical stripes on them. The lower part of its body has black markings that resemble briefs. I would argue that they are actually real pants. I don't think they're black markings. I think they're real pants.
I don't know. I think those are pants.
I mean, it doesn't say in the entry, and none of us.
Either way, which one it is?
They might not be.
It may not be, but it'd be rude to ask. It is always seen wearing a black and gold power save belt, resembling a championship belt. It possesses large pectoral muscles that protrude slightly over its belt. Machoke is a Pokemon of immense strength. Its muscles are as hard as steel and is capable of lifting extremely heavy objects with only one finger. Machoke's body is powerful enough to never get tired. Machoke is a popular Pokemon used as a motif for sculptures. In spite of this, it is modest and often helps people with manual labor. Manual labor. Sorry, I said that weird.
I don't know why you said that weird. What's wrong with you?
I got a lot to read. Okay. The belt it wears regulates its strength, but Machoke removes it when facing a truly powerful opponent. It can be found in the mountains where it trains daily. And so, yeah, that does it for this entry here.
Or in schools cleaning up. Could be there too.
Yep. I mean, anywhere where there's hard labor for it to do. And you know what?
Right.
Exactly.
School has, because of the nature of the things that we research, tends to have a lot of work that needs to be done.
It does.
And we are very grateful of them for that. So, all right. So that does it for all the information that we have on Machoke. So now you know what it's time for.
No.
Oh, well, it's time for a pop quiz.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't see that coming at all.
I know, it's always a surprise. Go ahead and put away your Pokedexes. Please grab your Rotom laptops.
Sure.
So you can input your answers and then send them to me. Right. Maybe a paper and pencil in case there's another math problem.
I'm ready.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there is.
Maybe. Hope not.
You have a calculator?
I hope not.
I do.
Okay. All right.
Do you have a clue?
Do I have a what?
A clue.
No, I don't. I'm clueless.
Then why are you teaching us? I should be teaching.
Whoa there, Corbin.
Hey,
Don't
you're the one that said you were
about
the professor a few minutes ago. I don't hear a word.
You did say that you were the professor.
You did. That was
I'm not the
sacrilegious.
professor.
Jeez.
I'm not a
That's
professor.
disrespectful. All I said was the professor doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, which is definitely not disrespectful at all.
Thank you. That's my point.
It's respectful, even.
It isn't?
It's respectfully dis.
Okay.
It's anti-disrespectful. All right, let me go ahead and read question number 1. What would happen if you removed Machoke's belt? Both of the answers are in. Corbin here says it would unleash its full power, endangering the lives of all.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit dramatic, but, you know, it's a good answer nonetheless.
Sometimes I like my theatrics.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's no exclamation points, so we know you're not entirely sure.
Well, okay.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Curtis's answer is the Machoke would be flooded with an unstoppable amount of energy. Yes. You guys are both correct. I mean, I had here written that would become unstoppable, but I think you guys kind of both got the essence of that, and you know,
sure.
you're both pretty much right. So we were definitely getting the points for that one.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Thank you.
Question.
That's all I strive to do.
Yes, of course. Was it equitable enough for you there, Mr. Curtis?
It was fair and equitable.
I strive to be. All right. Question number 2. Name 3 ways a Machoke trains its muscles. All right. So I have both of the answers. Corbin says picking up dump trucks. By the way, the question was name 3 ways that a Machoke trains. And Corbin says 1, picking up dump trucks. 2, helping humans with manual labor. And 3, fighting other Pokemon. Okay. Mr. Curtis says bodybuilding, really heavy / hard labor, and 3, it carries heavy things all over the place.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, so together you have a full, complete answer. Now, it carries heavy things all over the place. I don't think the Pokedexes specifically say that, and when they do, they're more that's kind of like the same thing as really hard labor.
Really sorry, Mr. Curtis.
And now Corbin, I have a much bigger problem with yours. Picking up dump trucks. It never says that that's what it does to train. It just says that it can do that.
Well, I mean, that's gotta train it. That's gotta
it's
train
saying
it,
that
you know?
It's saying that it can do it as potentially it could do that. It never says it even does that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more willing to give Mr. Curtis the full points here. Because, I mean, you could potentially make a curse that carries heavy things all over the place is different from heavy, hard labor. The answer that I was looking for was bodybuilding, physically demanding labor, and fighting other Pokemon. So, like I said, together you have the correct answer.
Oh, that's surprising. Fighting other Pokemon was honestly an educated guess. I mean, I didn't.
It says it. It says it.
I know, but I clearly couldn't remember. It just made the most amount of sense to me.
That's
like, yeah, it's
fair.
going to train
That's fair.
by fighting other Pokemon. That was just common sense. But I thought picking up Dump Trunks was a surefire answer.
No, but it doesn't do that to train.
Well, okay. So we had, what did you say? Bodybuilding, heavy labor, and fighting Pokemon.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So okay. So I got 2/3 of it, and Corbin got 1/3.
You know what, Mr. Curtis? Whoa.
I got 2/3.
He got
what are you
2/3
talking
of
about?
it.
Yeah, shut up.
His answer was picking up
okay.
dump trucks, wrong. Helping humans with manual labor, right. And fighting other Pokemon, right.
Yeah.
So you both
Okay,
get
so we
2/3.
both got 2 out of 3.
Yeah, so shut
If
up,
I'm being
Mr.
fair and
Curtis.
equitable here.
Yes.
That's fair and equitable. That's right.
All right. Okay. Question number 3. What type of artistic medium might you most frequently see depictions of Machoke?
Artistic medium.
Yes, artistic mediums. All right. Both of the answers are in. Corbin says sculpting. There's an exclamation point on the end. We'll see if that exclamation point pays off. Mr. Curtis says they are very often seen depicted in sculptures. So, yes, the answer is sculptures. I mean, I feel as though you could probably capture their muscles pretty well in paintings and in other, forms of artwork, but it seems as though sculptures.
You can't reach out and stroke a painting and feel the muscles.
I mean, you really shouldn't. You shouldn't touch a sculpture.
I mean, but it's there.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. It's a more of a, I don't know. It's a better way to explore the physiology of a Machoke, which is absolutely incredible.
Right.
But I digress. Let's move on to the final question, which is, of course, an essay question.
Oh, no.
Because how could we not with this wonderful Pokemon? All right, so the essay question is, again, there's no right or wrong here. I'm just, probing your brain, just seeing what you think. Where does Machoke's belt come from? Because Machop doesn't have a belt, and nobody's ever seen a Machoke without a belt.
Right.
So
It's got to come from somewhere, right?
it's got to come from somewhere, and I'm interested to see. And it also has special properties too.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll let you two work away on that.
Okay. I think this is a pretty obvious answer, but I'll get it.
Both of the answers are in. Now, this is, of course, an essay question, so the answers here will vary wildly, but that's okay. That's what I'm looking for. Or maybe they'll be exactly the same thing. I don't know. I haven't read them yet.
I'm hoping you're ready for that, Professor, because this one, let's just say I brought my A game. It's going to be something special.
Finally. I've been waiting for that A game for a long time now. Corbin's entry here says, without the belt, Machoke is unstoppable. Even Pokemon normally strong against Machoke will fall. I mean, yeah, so that's kind of like what you said before. Alakazam has the capability to create spoons, which are made of metal. Alakazam eventually created... Okay, whoa, interesting, okay. So Alakazam has the capability to create spoons, which are made of metal. Alakazam eventually created the belt to wrap around Machoke in order to weaken its power and make it easier to fight. Machoke, loving a challenge, agreed to do this because without the belt, there's no competition. Interesting.
Yeah.
But that would require, anytime Machop evolves into Machoke, there's an Alakazam nearby to make the belt for it, right?
Well, I think at this point, they just manufacture them now. It's like one of those things that you can just get, and any trainer knows that when Machop evolves, you have to go get the belt. So it's kind of one of those things you do, like how you take care of like a baby. When you bring a baby home, what do? You get baby food for it. That's one of those things.
What about wild Machokes?
Well, wild Machokes, they forge their own belts, or they get them from probably family members that make it, with the Alakazams.
Okay, I was going to say, how do they forge their own belt? How could they possibly, if it's something that an Alakazam creates...
Well, they work with the Alakazams. It's kind of an agreed-upon thing, because, many, many years ago, they were like, we need a challenge. And Alakazam was like, well,
Great-granddaddy.
It's like everyone gets it's a mutual relationship. Everybody gets something out of it. Alakazams don't have to worry about getting the actual shit, rocked by a Machoke.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Please, language.
Sorry, they don't have to get their poop rocked by a Machoke, and then Machoke also gets a challenge because its power level has now diminished.
I could see that. I could see that being a reasoning. I think the logistics side of it, I can understand the reasoning behind it. Logistically, I think it's a bit more challenging to wrap my head around. But I like it. You're thinking out of the box. I think it's very good.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and read Mr. Curtis's here. It is very long, so I'll give it that.
And I have already found one mistake.
There's a typo.
There's one
so
typo.
I'm assuming there's one Machamp in here that's supposed to be a Machop.
That's right. I
that's
did
wrong.
in an accident replace Machamp for Machop.
Again, no wrong answers.
Say that now.
No wrong answers here.
I'm just putting that out there. All right.
All right. I'll figure out where it is as I'm reading.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Curtis writes, Machoke's power belt is not something found by or given to the Machoke. It instead seeks the Machoke out on its own. Let me explain. He writes, let me explain. I'm not saying that. He put, let me explain in his own answer. Thank you, Mr. Curtis. It's exactly, you're supposed to be explaining here. I'd be upset if you
Good job, buddy.
I want to make sure that you know that I'm going to explain.
Great. I mean, there's like a paragraph more of text I know you're going to explain. The belt itself is this is him explaining, by the way, in case you didn't know. The belt itself is a regular lifting belt. It's what's inside that makes it special. It's possessed by a ghost. He did like a lot of extra letters in there, so just for
very good. Got the double. Got the bye.
Yeah,
in there too.
Yeah, there's but it's BBY. BBBYY. Not unlike a Honedge or a Rotom. And as is the typical for ghost-type Pokemon, it siphons the life force of the living beings it comes in contact with. That is a fairly frequent occurrence when it comes to ghost-type Pokemon. Is this possessed belt, this possessed belt / Machoke relationship has developed in symbiosis to such an extent that the original ghost Pokemon that possessed the to such an extent that the original ghost Pokemon that possessed the belt's name has been lost in time. So the ghost Pokemon, not the belt. The ghost Pokemon's name, not the belt's name.
Because the belt's name is P.
Huh?
The belt's name is P.
Yeah, it has it right on there. How could you not know? Now, when a here's the Machamp that I'm pretty sure is supposed to be a Machop. Now, when a Machop is approaching evolutionhood, the free-floating, unnamed, and unseen ghost Pokemon will possess a regular lifting belt, fly through the air, and attach itself to the Machop as it evolves. This happens so quickly during the flash of evolution light that no one has ever seen it. This cements their relationship as a life force supplier and a life force absorber. Okay, you know what? That was actually really well done. So
good job.
You're postulating here that a Machoke is actually comprised of two different Pokemon. The big beefy boy himself, and then the unnamed ghost Pokemon that resides in its belt.
Okay, interesting. I can get behind that.
You can't have one without the other.
You can't. It's this weird kind of, I mean, it's a perfectly symbiotic relationship. I like it.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a really good answer. If I may throw an answer in the ring.
Let's move on.
Professor.
Well, now I'm definitely going to. I'm going to go into great detail too.
Oh, very good.
So,
thank you, Professor.
When it comes to evolution, it's almost embarrassing how much Pokemon researchers don't know about evolution. In fact, I mean, we just learned about Mega Evolution like 8 years ago. Like, in the hundreds of years that we've been researching Pokemon, we just realized that there's another level to which they can evolve. It's embarrassing. But I kind of like to think that, you know, it does happen. This belt is formed when the Pokemon does evolve from a Machop into a Machoke. And I think it has to do, I think there's a certain amount of energy that goes into an evolution. And, like, that energy can, you know, determine how much change happens. So if you look at a Pokemon like, you know, Metapod and Butterfree, right? A Metapod looks so extremely different from a Butterfree. But a Machop, as compared to a Machoke, it's like it's a little bit bigger and it's a darker color. Right? They look so similar. And I think that's because most of the energy for the transformation went into creating this mystical, incredibly, powerful belt that keeps their energy locked away. So I think it is something that's created from the energy of evolution and is, almost a part of the Machoke itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
So yeah, I'm gonna give us all full marks on that one.
That's just self-serving. You can't give yourself full credit.
I most certainly can. His name is on the door. Thank you.
Yeah, and so I believe that gives me a 100.
Oh my God!
This semester.
I'm done.
Which is the best out of anybody here. So you better watch how you talk to me.
Oh, Professor, I'm sorry. I'll get better.
You'll get better, but you'll never get to a 100. Just because that's how percentages work out. And that, by the way, is how the class works out. We read the Pokédex entries, do a quiz, and then it's done. And now the class is done. And so with that perfect transition, I would like to ask the class, does anybody know who we're talking about next week?
The champion.
Yes.
Leon from Galar.
No. So you said champion. Okay, that's close.
Mm-hmm.
Think of the naming convention we've had so far. We've had Machop. We've had Machoke. Who is next?
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact Mr. Curtis knows this.
Making.
Smack. No, I know. It's Machamp.
It's Machamp. Yes. We are learning about the evolved form of Machoke, Machamp. And so we'll talk a lot about him or her. They can be female too. In the next lesson. Now, if any students at home have questions for me, your wonderful professor, you could ask me via Gmail, which I think everybody at this point knows stands for Gengar Mail, which is wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gmail account, that's fine, although it does come with your student registration, so you might want to look into that. You probably have a lot of Gmails that you're missing. But if you don't have that set up, you can also find me at the Flying Pokemon themed social network site, Twitter. I'm there at WWOPokemon as well. Also, if you really like this lesson, if you loved learning about Machoke, go ahead and give us a rating on Flapple Podcasts. That will get the word out and make sure the wonderful world of Pokemon gets spread to as many willing students as it possibly can. But until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.